Green Knight. Now, The Green Knight is directed by David Lowery. It stars the Patel, Keoghan, Joel Edgerton, and Alicia Vikander. And basically, the film follows the story of the Arthurian legend of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. As basically, in this film, we follow Sir Gawain, King Arthur's nephew, as he goes on his quest to try and find the Green Knight after already having an encounter with him. However, on this quest, Sir Gawain comes across thieves, spirits, and even huge giants as he tries to find the Green Knight. And at the same time, though, he starts to realize that maybe there's more to this quest, and actually the quest is more about self-discovery with Sir Gawain. And that's basically the plot of the Green Knight. I mean, that's basically the plot. There's a lot more to it to that, but that's the basic plot of the film. And honestly, I've got to admit here, I don't really know this story, so I don't know how true this story is to its source material, but I've got to admit, I did really like this film, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are saying this film's boring, and it's not their cup of tea and things like that, and that's fine, all films are subjective, but the thing is though, I've just got to admit, I really liked this film. I really liked watching it, because in the end, I thought it was a thought-provoking, immersive spectacle. That's the reason I liked this film so much. It was so immersive, and so interesting, and intriguing, and just so mysterious, and just so brilliant to watch, in my opinion. Honestly, I think The Green Knight is a great film. I really like it, and I think the reason I like it so much is because of its immersiveness, which I know on the surface might seem like a small thing, but actually it's quite a big thing. If you're not immersed into the world of the Green Knight, then you don't buy into anything going on. You don't buy into this big CGI giant at one stage. You don't buy into this fox that's following around Sir Gawain. You don't buy into any of this if you're not immersed into the world. But that's something the film does so well. You are immersed into the world. Whether it's from these fantastic visuals that's here on screen. Honestly, the film is so beautifully directed and has cinematography which just blows you away. Or whether it's just through Daniel Hart's fantastic music score, which just works so well in the film and honestly really immerses you into the world as well. Or whether it's just for the fact that so much of this film is shot in exterior locations. It just feels so real and so believable in so many moments. I mean, I love the fact that so much of the exterior parts of the film are all shot on location. Like many other directors nowadays, especially if you're working in Hollywood, would shoot a film like this with a lot of CGI and huge set pieces. And that might be fine, it could still work. But the fact is though, David Lowery shot a lot of this film on location. And the thing is though, I'm not sure if the interior scenes are shot on location, but I can tell for definite that the exterior scenes are shot on location. Honestly, anytime you get like a scene that takes place outside in this big setting, it's just shot on location, which makes it so much more immersive and so much more interesting to watch. I mean, there is CGI in there, but it's not used as much as like a big Hollywood film. No, in the end, it's just all real locations, and it just makes the film feel so much more real, and it immerses the world of the Green Knight so much. I just love the immersion of this film, I really do, and it really builds on the spectacle of the film as a whole. Like I said, the film is beautifully directed and has some incredible visuals in there. Honestly, the moment you see the giants, I was literally on the edge of my seat, my jaw dropped. It was such an incredible moment of the film because of the visuals, and honestly the cinematography is so fantastic, and it's such a well shot film, and you feel all the pain of Sir Gawain in the film, which is something I really like about the film. You feel all the pain of his character as he goes on this journey to go and find the Green Knight again. That's just something which works so well in the film. And at the same time though, I love that the film also has some small moments of comic relief in there. There's one moment in particular when you meet Erin Kelman's character, who's like this spirit, and he's like, oh, I need to get my head from the bottom of this pond, and then Sir Gawain is like, why, if you're spirit? And then she's like, it doesn't matter, it's my head. And it's just small moments of comic relief like that which work really well in the film. And at the same time though, I think all the performances are absolutely fantastic. I think Dev Patel is giving his best performance I've seen him do. Honestly, I think Dev Patel's a fantastic actor. I mean, I like him so much, Millionaire, and I've liked him in so many other films he's done as well. But the thing is though, in this film in particular, I just felt his performance was so captivating and so brilliant. Honestly, I love Dev Patel's performance. He plays that character really well, and you really believe that he's going through this whole, this whole journey of self-discovery throughout the film. And at the same time, I also thought Keoghan was great in the film. I really enjoyed the small moment he was in there. He wasn't in there much, but when he does pop him in there, he kind of steals the show for that little bit he's in there. Honestly, I think Keoghan is great in the film. And at the same time, I also think Joel Edgerton is great in the film as well. He looked like he's having a lot of fun with the role he was playing, Joel Edgerton did. Joel Edgerton, again, is only in a small part of the film, but I really like that section of the film he's in. And at the same time, Alicia Vikander, who I didn't really know was in this film, is brilliant in this film. Honestly, I mean, I knew she was in there, but I didn't know she was going to be in this film that much. Honestly, she's great in this film, and she has quite a pivotal role in there. Not to give too much away, but she is really good in the film, and I really liked her performance. And also, I thought the last 5 minutes of this film, well, about the last 5 minutes of the film, was just absolutely brilliant. I thought it was perfect, actually. I thought the last 5 minutes of the film was so good because it was so shocking and so haunting and so mysterious and just so brilliant and just like edgy. You see, I'm like, oh my god, I don't know where this is going. This is, somewhat hard to watch, but at the same time, though, it's also fantastic to watch and it's so intriguing. And I just thought the last 5 minutes of the film was absolutely brilliant. Honestly, I loved the end of the film. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And like I said before, it's a beautifully shot film. It's got some incredible visuals, and I really liked watching it. However, that's not to say I don't have some small criticisms of the film overall. First of all, this film uses a bit of CGI in there with some of the other characters, some of the settings, and some of the CGI isn't up to the standards you might want it to be. Some of the CGI was a bit obvious in the film. For example, there's one like fox that comes in and out of the film every now and then, and I'm going to be honest, the CGI with that fox was a bit noticeable. And at the same time, though, I was going to admit there was this medieval font that was used throughout the film, which kind of tells you like what's going on in the scene and where the scene's going and things like that, or where Sir Gawain's story is going and things like that. And the medieval font was good. I liked that they used that because it built into the whole setting of the world. But at the same time, though, it just didn't work for me. That's just a personal thing there, because I can always tell what the medieval font said. Like, if I got this from DVD and I paused it, I can probably go, oh, that's what the medieval font said. But when you're watching the cinema, I couldn't tell that. And honestly, I think the medieval font wasn't the best in the film. It didn't always work for me. And at the same time, though, I've also got to admit, sometimes the film does feel a bit light on its story. I mean, there is a story that goes on in there, and it's a really interesting story. Honestly, I wouldn't be touching the tip of the iceberg with the plot synopsis I gave earlier. There is a really interesting story that goes on in there, particularly in the last 5 minutes of the film. But things though, just in some moments, like there's one section of the film with Joel Edgerton's character and Alicia Vikander's characters, where basically it just feels a bit light on story. And this film isn't going to be for everyone. Honestly, just look on IMDb, just look on the user reviews on IMDb, and clearly this film isn't for everyone. There are people who don't like this film, and I can clearly see why it might test some people's patience. But personally, I'm not going to lie here. I really like this film. And the thing is though, I wouldn't say I enjoyed watching it, but I would say I really liked watching it. I don't think it's a film you necessarily enjoy watching to say, but saying that though, I think it's a film which really immerses you into the world just like that. Honestly, I was immersed into the world of the Green Knight just like that, and that's why it worked for me. Honestly, in the opening seconds of the film, I was immersed into the world where this film was all taking place, and in such a good way. Honestly, I love that about the film. And also the fact that I got to in the cinema, by the way. Like, I don't know how long it's going to be in cinemas, but I saw it in an independent cinema, and I'm happy I did, by the way, because I saw it on a big screen, and it was so immersive, and I'm so happy that I got to watch it in the cinema, because I feel if I didn't watch it in the cinema, maybe I wouldn't have the same experience that I did have with it, but nevertheless, I did get to go watch it in the cinema, and honestly, just the cinematic experience of this film was brilliant, and just the spectacle and the shots and the beautiful direction from David Lowery, and the fact that so much of the film is shot on location. Like, I don't know if all the film was shot on location, that's just me, I just don't know if all the film was shot on location, but the moments of the film which were clearly shot on location just work so well, and it just makes you more immersed and intrigued into this mysterious world that it just can't help but really like watching as the film progresses. I really like this film. Even with the problems I have, I still did really like it, and I thought the last 5 minutes was hauntingly brilliant, and I think it was a really good film, and it's not for everyone, but you know what? That's fine, because in my opinion, I just felt that The Green Knight was a thought-provoking, immersive spectacle, and that's kind of why I like the film so much. And so, all in all, I'm going to say The Green Knight, I'm going to say that's an 8.3 out of 10. Like I said before, it's not a film which is going to appeal to everyone. Like, I can see why a lot of people might watch the film just on their TVs via Amazon Prime, because obviously the film's on Amazon Prime now, and maybe not take to it as much as I have. But nevertheless, I got to watch it in a cinema, and I'm so happy that I did in the end. I think if I didn't watch this film in the cinema, maybe I wouldn't like it as much. But the fact is though, I did get to watch it in the cinema, and that's what which made the film really work for me. I just love the immersive spectacle of the film, which really made me buy into this world where it's taking place. And on the surface, like I said before, yes, that sounds like a small thing, but actually when you're watching the film, it's so important to buy into this world. If you don't buy into this world, then that's it for you. You're just not going to buy into anything that takes place. But the thing is though, just like that, just in the opening seconds of the film, I believed in everything that was going on. I was immersed into the world of the Green Knight, which is why I like this film so much. And that's coming from someone, by the way, who doesn't really know the story. I don't really know the story of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. I don't really know the story, to be honest, but nevertheless, I did really enjoy watching the story take place. And even so, I did think in a couple of moments that the film felt a bit, thin on its story. Overall, I did still really like it. I watched the last 5 minutes literally gobsmacked. I was literally watching the last 5 minutes of the film with my jaw dropped because of how hauntingly brilliant it was. Honestly, I think it's a great film, and I just think it's such a fantastic immersive experience. In fact, overall, I think it's a thought-provoking, immersive spectacle, which is why I like this film so much. Honestly, I think The Green Knight is absolutely brilliant, and it's not for everyone, but you know what, that's fine, because in my opinion, I really did like it. I really liked watching the film, and you know what, I'll definitely go back and rewatch it again. And so, all in all, I'm going to say that The Green Knight, I'm going to say that's an 8.3 out of 10 from me. Anyway guys, what do you think of The Green Knight? Please do comment down below and know your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway guys, thank you as always for watching, and if you haven't yet, please do click down below and like, subscribe on this video, and look forward to many more both film and TV reviews to come very soon on this channel. See you guys again soon, bye bye for now, bye!